Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony for Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Star Wars Black 6-inch Darth Vader from the 40th anniversary batch of figures. And this is not the regular release, as you might be able to tell from the package. This is that special legacy pack, which is kind of based on the early bird special thing from back when these figures very first came out, when the very first movie came out. So not only is it a new Darth Vader, but you get this cool packaging, and he comes with this bonus accessory, which I'll show you a little bit as we go. So it's a pretty cool pack, and it's only, I think it's like 40 bucks, 43 bucks after tax, I think is what it was. So pretty cool set for a Star Wars fan. If you're a big Star Wars fan, it's a must-have for sure, just because of what it is. And if you're not a big Star Wars fan and you're not going to buy it no matter what, then you might want to check out this review because there's going to be some stuff you'll want to see. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just over 6 3/4 inches tall, so he's definitely got some size to him, so that's really nice since Darth Vader's supposed to be tall. He's about 17.5 centimeters, so that's pretty good, I think, pretty good scaling. He has a couple of accessories. Well, technically only the lightsaber is his accessory. He's got the lightsaber, which does come apart and you can hang on his belt if you want to. And he does come with the display stand with the 4 interlocking bases, and then the big card that you can put in the back of the bases with the frame going around it that holds it in place. The card is actually reversible, so you have the one with all of the different characters, then you have the one with the space scene in the background, so that's pretty nice. It does have a sticker that goes on the top plate, but I haven't put it on yet, so you can see that it would just go on there. The reason I haven't put it on is I'm not putting it out on display or anything anytime soon, so I don't want to get that sticker out ahead of time. So those are pretty good accessories, I think. That early bird special back card display stand thing is really nice. Then, of course, his lightsaber is very well done. But there's also another thing I want to mention, which is the packaging. Inside of this big box packaging, you have the card back, like the original style display packaging for the figure, which I think a lot of you original Star Wars fans might appreciate. Okay, so this guy, from what I'm understanding, is most people like this Darth Vader figure much more than the first one in terms of sculpt and paint and that kind of thing, and I can appreciate that. I like it a whole bunch. My personal taste is I prefer the other suit design better, even though this one might be a better figure, so that might be a factor in your deciding to get this or not, though I'm guessing most people are just going to get it. I've just never been a big fan of having this cloth so obviously outside of the armor. I don't know why, I just don't care for it, but that's a personal thing, so it doesn't really affect the review. We do have really nice paint job, though. All of the little buttons and switches and things on his chest and belt, very clean, very nicely painted. We do have different finishes for the black, so you can see kind of a satin black for the arm, glossier black for the gloves, and same thing for the legs and the boots. The boots are even glossier, so that's nice. The helmet, not that glossy, which I'm pretty sure is accurate. It's not supposed to be hyper glossy from the first movie, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I'm sure a lot of you guys know more about Star Wars than me. You can correct me if I am wrong. The faceplate is painted nicely. The eyes have that kind of reddish tint to them. As far as the little details go, like the tusks, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure one of them should be painted differently than the other, and they don't have quite as much sculpt detail as you might want, but this is a fairly small figure, so I understand that. I think it's okay. The chest piece and shoulder pads both look pretty nice, so that's good. As far as the soft goods go, the cloth, it is done nicely, though I'm not sure I'm a big fan of this material, just because you can see it's a very stiff material. It doesn't hang very nicely at all in this scale, so it does take away a little bit from the look of the figure. You're going to have to be very clever when you pose this guy in order to get the cloth to hang nicely. But we do have the kind of vest piece up here that goes down through to this inner cape, so that's all one piece, and that's very nicely done. Then you have the outer cape, which does connect around his neck underneath the helmet, so even though it comes in the package behind him like this, you can bring it around a little bit to get the cape to go over his shoulder if you want to. I'm not sure, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he did have it over his shoulder at some point in the first movie, but it's been a while now. It's been a long while. So it's nice. It's definitely a good soft goods cape at this scale, but I would definitely prefer to have a little bit of a more loose material, just so that it hangs a little bit nicer at this scale. It's okay, though. As far as the articulation goes on the head, you get a little bit of forward and back, not too much. You get your side to side, which is really no problem at all, and you don't get any leaning side to side. It's very limited in that regard. As far as the shoulders go, you have really nice range. They almost go all the way out horizontally, so that's pretty good. You have your full swivel, though the chest does push them out a little bit coming forward, but not too bad, so that's okay. No bicep swivel, that comes here in the elbow, which is a single joint. You get just about 90 degrees, and then again, you have your swivel. You have your wrist swivel and hinge, which is just fine, though the hinges are very stiff right out of the package. Be careful about that. We have like a little force choke hand on that side, which does look a lot like a trigger finger hand, but I guess it's the force choke hand. And then you have your gripping hand on this side, so that's fine. As far as torso articulation, it is a little bit limited due to the design of the figure, but you have just your ball peg diaphragm joint all the way down here. So just a tiny bit of wiggle room right there, a little bit of rotation, and no real leaning side to side, so it is pretty limited. I do believe this cloth is all one piece, but it might just be connected underneath. I'm not certain about that. I haven't taken it apart to check. This is a fairly soft piece, so it won't get in the way. For our hips, we have pretty good hinge going out to the side, going forward. Pretty good range. Not really any problem there at all, so that's nice. Thigh swivel works just fine. Double jointed knees, though you won't need them very much for Darth Vader. It works just fine, but they are very, very ugly knees. I hate it when they have that big flat spot on there. It should definitely be rounded in. You probably won't need it for Vader, but it's still worth mentioning. It's not the best knee design. And then for the ankles, they're very loose on this figure, but they have good range forward and back. And they have the ankle rocker, so it's not bad. It's definitely a solid Darth Vader figure. Definitely, if you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to want to pick it up. Even if you're the tiniest bit of a Star Wars fan, this is something you're going to want to get, and especially if you can get this early bird special edition with the big display stand and everything. It's going to be a nice piece to have in your collection, so I'm going to go ahead and say you should pick it up for sure. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff, so make sure you come back for that. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any of it. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and in the meantime, keep collecting.